Well, we just came up with about 200 different points for the rest of All-Star Weekend, and that's a great segue into a game that I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't watched the highlights because I didn't race home from work today waiting to watch the highlights because maybe you've seen it. So tell me if I'm offbeat. I think there's going to be a lot of three-pointers, and then that's going to be from the logo and then from the half court. And then if there isn't a three-pointer, there's a couple of no defense layups and dunks. Maybe there's an alley-oop or two. And then in the last couple of minutes, they might have pretended to play defense. And then we got our final score, and then Damian Lillard's the MVP with 11 threes. How'd I go with that?
It's not great, just like this weekend for the NBA.
Oh,
It's
it was
I
different,
think
was it?
I think look. Let me. Do you want spoilers here, or you don't want spoilers? I think you
No,
need
no,
to
spoil everything.
explain.
Tell
All right,
me what
here
I
it
missed.
is. Non-censored spoiler edition here. Dame Lillard MVP can shoot from the half court line fairly well. Yeah, and play not shock horror, but now he can actually pull up with his feet behind the line fairly well. Made two of them in the All-Star game. Why does it just not shoot that in a regular season game, man? Here's the play. Everyone go back. Defense goes back. They're not aware. Dame, pull up at the three. No one's going to guard you. If you can make that at a 40% clip, that's not a bad shot. Yeah, just shoot it. So hey, and you're right. Okay, you're correct about the point. There were a lot of three-pointers. I watched a 2-minute, 3-minute sort of highlight clip on the game, and I don't think I saw more than two or three dunks. Yeah, remember it was all about the dunks. Yeah, about the
Hmm.
creativity, about the dunks. Now it's like who can pull up from further. Yeah, I think a lot of the highlights was Tyrese Halliburton being a home court hero here in Indiana. You know, made like 10 threes or something like that and had 30 something points, but obviously didn't win MVP. But there was a lot of Tyrese Halliburton shooting threes. Wow, and he got hot. I think he shot fairly well actually beyond the arc. Man, I think and the part that you got woefully wrong was like the scoreline was not even close, so there was no even point to even try in the last 2 minutes. Okay, the scoreline was not close, and I had actually picked the West to win. East came out on top, which probably actually makes some sense if I thought about it a little bit more because they're probably the younger guys that actually, it'd be nice to get a W. Whereas the old heads be like, whatever, yeah, we don't care, we're just here, we've been here already 10 times, yeah. So no, it's not that interesting. So yeah, man, I think it's a there's a lot of things that the NBA needs to think about here, and obviously Adam Silver was not happy. I think that's the media that's currently going circulate right now. He was not happy with the lack of change, I guess, to how the game was sort of taken upon. And look, how do we fix this, man? Is that sort of where we're at here? We're sort of brainstorming this ourselves. I don't know. Again, like I said, it's something that has evolved to this point. It didn't happen overnight. It didn't happen overnight, and you never know these things when you do the first thing, right? You don't see the end picture. No one can because no one has a crystal ball. Okay, but when you start to make changes and change expectations and gimmicks and little things like this and so on and so forth, and rule changes and all these stuff, sort of stuff, it gets to an end point, and we're sort of now at the end point right now, being today, and it's yeah, man, it's just it's a whole different game. It's a whole different product. No one cares. The fan ultimately doesn't care. But yeah, look, if I was gonna make one suggestion here, why not make them into like a playoff format? Yeah, because guess what? Players I think can go, I lost a game. Oh man, I went to All Star Weekend and I lost. Whatever. One team has to win, one team has to lose. Would players be more willing to swallow the pill and say, I lost 4-0? I don't know.
So essentially you think the rookie format on a Friday isn't a terrible format for this kind of All-Star game.
No, but the rookie format breaks them down into four different teams, I think, yeah. So I'm saying keep the same teams, but play like, say, let's play like 12-minute games or say 15-minute games. I don't know, whatever the timing would be. And then you're now looking to win All-Star Weekend by getting 4 wins. So you could play anywhere between 4 to 7 of these games.
That idea right there.
This idea has basically been one that's been in my head for like an hour. Yeah, so it's really, really fresh. But if you were to sort of press me a bit more here, I think it just keep it simple. I've said that a few times, I think, this podcast, right? Keep it simple. And if you think about in the playground, man, when you play over like a lunchtime period or an afternoon and you like say, let's play, and we play to a target score, obviously, because there's no clock in the playground, right? To run the time down. But you play to a target score, someone wins, that's the conclusion. And then you do it again. But when you do it again, you start at 0-0. That's important. I think that
Mm.
simplicity is important because it allows you to reset and stuff like that. So whether you then add rules like you said, maybe you could do things like the coaches, all right, you only get say one sub. Yeah, you get only one sequence of subs. Okay, so you can only make one sub. Whether you sub one guy on or five guys on, that's up to you. But you only make one sub. It's an 8 minute game. If we're talking about say an 8 minute format, so it's a shorter game, 8 minute, one sub only. Therefore, you have to sort of strategize a little bit there, or in that sense. And I don't know. And again, maybe you could make a sense where the coaches have to like everyone has to start at least one of these mini games. Okay, so at some point you got to put that, let's say that all-star scrub, yeah, obviously on the sense that they have to actually start in the game, and then you make some decisions on personnel and who you put out there on that five to hopefully get you that W, because at the end of the day your team needs to get four to win. Um, Look, I don't know. Look, again, you could totally backfire. Maybe a team is up 3-0 and the other team just folds and doesn't care. But then at the same point, that sets a, as you talk about a lot, narrative. What if my team is up 3-0 and then suddenly we won four in a row? What a choke for the other conference, right? These are things that created with this best of seven playoff and final sort of format that are a part, I think, of the excitement of the game.